Welcome to another episode of the Roughly Related to Reselling podcast. My name is Perry Phillips. I go by Perry Flips on Instagram. Welcome to another week in my reselling life. I gotta tell you, if you're like me, it's the time of year where you're just like frantically refreshing Facebook Marketplace, looking on like local auction sites, trying to find any estate sales like that are just like for some reason, like during the summer, there's just so many sales that like there's not a ton of competition at certain places, you know what I mean? Because people kind of stick to their own area, but then once it gets to this time of the year, you start to see people that like are coming from further out, and you're just like, man, what the fuck? Like, this is my city, my town. Fucking get the fuck, go back to where you came from. No, I'm kidding. But like, there's people that like, I saw this guy that's I'm cool with out this past weekend. I saw a couple of guys I haven't seen in a bit out this weekend, so it's like, you know, the odds of running into somebody are higher this time of year because there's really not that many sales. It's like, you know, obviously too cold. It's freezing. But yeah, I keep thinking about doing one. I'm like, should I just do like a winter one? I have enough stuff probably to do, you know, just do one more small one. And then, because this last weekend, what day was it? My wife was off like Thursday, Friday of last week. So on Thursday, I just started going through like, so, you know, if you're a reseller, you know, you load your car up sometimes, and when you get back and it's like a Saturday, you know, your family's been fucking waiting for you. They want you to go do some shit. Usually it's with them. So you got to get back. And typically when I buy stuff, I'm not like, I mean, some days I have time to go through it, like, but most of the time I get back and I have to just take it out and throw it. Like, it just goes right into the basement into a fucking pile. And so it's like, all right, I'll get to this when I get to this, blah, 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 blah. And so like my death pile was just like, because I've said recently that I've been good, you know, new stuff coming in. I've been taking pictures of that stuff, which I've been doing. But yeah, there's stuff that was like from 2 years ago that I sold the rest of the stuff, and the stuff had like, you know, needed a little bit of work or something. And so I was like, all right, I just have to go fucking through my death pile. And so I did, and I cleared a bunch of space in my basement. I still have like a little small pile of stuff, but it's more organized. And I think I'm hoping, my birthday is this Friday, and it's also Black Friday. And yeah, so there's like no fees or something on Whatnot for Friday because it's Black Friday. So I'm thinking of taking advantage of that and just doing a sale for my birthday. But I got to figure out what time so I can put that up. I'm hoping to put that up today or tomorrow. I got to remember to talk to my wife and just make sure that, like, you know, we can nail down a time. It's my birthday, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. But yeah, my wife's like, you want to do a Whatnot auction on your birthday? I'm like, yeah, why not? It'll be fun. Make some money. Why not Whatnot, you know? So yeah, so I spent a ton of time. I went through I had a ton of toys that I just, you know, I went through and took out all the Legos, sold those, and then sold I had another set of like Bionicle stuff, so I sold those. So it all sells fast, and I just have like a big ass box. I went through and I was like, all right, let me go through all of the action figures, and like, because like I love action figures, but they're time consuming if you've got a ton of them, you know what I mean? You got to go through, Google Lens them, figure out if there's accessories, then forget it. It just takes fucking forever. So I'm like, all right, I got a ton of free shit like at the beginning of the summer. So a lot of the stuff I went through this time was the beginning of the summer shit. So I put like, you know, there was a bunch of NECA horror figures. I put those all together. Combined a couple of the other things. And then I just have a huge lot of vintage toys, just, a mixed vintage toys. There's like PVC figures. There's, a bunch of shit. But again, I just didn't feel like dealing with it. There's a ton of shit in there that like you can make money on. But it's just, I don't, somebody who has a flea market would be better off with that because they're already living that flea market life. I don't like to have a ton of shit. I like to just sell. But it was nice. I really got through a ton of shit. And my eBay had been dead. So like my eBay started off dead last week. And I was listing a ton. I was like, making sure I was listing at least 10 items a day and lowering prices, shipping a bunch of shit as much as I could. And it was just really dead. So I was like, and I had remembered that because on the podcast, I even talked about it too, how this is my first year selling on Facebook and on eBay. So I was like, well, fuck it. Like, why don't I just, focus on Facebook for the day? And so I did. I did my death pile shit, and then I listed it just on Facebook for the rest of the day. And sure enough, I just started getting like fucking sales on eBay, and then I got a sale right away of something I listed on Marketplace. It was like a giant Mountain Dew bottle. The guy came down from like New Hampshire or something. It was like fucking an hour or something drive for him. And when I saw, and it's like, it's not worth, some stuff I price above eBay. Some stuff I price like right at eBay. And like there was a few of them sold around like $50. So I was like, all right, I'll do 40. And like, so this dude hit me up and he came and I was like, oh, you a Mountain Dew fan? Because I could tell he was a Mountain Dew fan. He's like, yeah. And he just took it. And that was the end of the interaction. I was like, all right, see you later. So he drove a long way for a $40 plastic bottle that looked like a Mountain Dew bottle. It was like a coin bank. But hey, I'll take that. It was easy money. And I sold it quick. And I think it paid for everything. I think I paid $40 for everything at that sale. So it basically paid for everything at that sale. And I still have a bunch of stuff that I listed. Had a bunch of sales. I went to the post office today. And then when I got home, I had a sale. And then there's like 2 or 3 other sales that had come in shortly after that. So I'm hoping it's picking up for Christmas. I've been trying to that's why I wanted to go through all my toys. I still have a ton of dolls. So I think the first Whatnot auction will be, not the first Whatnot auction, but the next Whatnot auction will be Monster High dolls. So we'll see. I might try to do 2 sales this weekend. I don't know. I'm trying to sell as much as I can. Sell. But then I'm nervous because I haven't really been able to find a ton of shit. I mean, I just went to an estate sale this last weekend. I got a decent amount of stuff. But like the guy that runs those sales, a lot of times his clothes are pretty cheap. And this time he was like, I don't know, he was kind of a dick. But I don't know why he was like, he was trying to charge like, I don't know, like double digits for a lot of the clothes. And a lot of times he just doesn't value the clothes. So it was just kind of weird. Maybe he's just onto it or something. I don't know. So I ended up putting back a couple jerseys, but I got like a Gucci bag that it looks pretty legit. It's old. I have to get it authenticated, but we'll see. It's kind of annoying. It's like $7 to authenticate shit if you can't tell. So, but it's worth it if it's real. If it's not worth it, if it's not real, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I just spent another $7 on this fucking bag. So I should have tried to get it a little cheaper. So, but yeah, they weren't willing to haggle either. I was like, would you do this amount for everything? And he was like, no. I was like, well, damn, you guys usually were cool about that shit, but now you're being fucking dicks. So who knows? Anyway, yeah. It's starting to get cold as fuck outside. So like it sucks because there's no free shit, but it's nice once spring hits. Like the sweet spot I like is like right at the beginning of spring, because all the other resellers are still fucking hibernating. They're just not like, some of them are out, but it's, you see a ton. Like I got a ton of free shit last year or this year at the beginning of the year. Like 90% of my shit that I went through yesterday was free. So it's just like all of it's going to be profit once I sell it. And yeah, it's just, I'm hoping that the Black Friday is pretty good. Black Friday is usually pretty good for me. I typically run a sale, but I don't know. I saw on YouTube or maybe it was a Facebook group that was a YouTube video, but it was basically like you increase your prices. I don't know if I talked about this already, but you increase your prices by like 100% and then you slash them by 50%. Essentially, it's the same price. So I don't know if that's the technique I'm going to use. I might try that. We'll see. Try it out and see how it goes. Who knows? Who knows? And then hopefully I have a bunch of sales. I'll just, send out offers to everybody and be like, hey, it's also my birthday. So if you want to buy this for me, it'd be cool. I'm just kidding. Anyway. But yeah, the house that I went to for this estate sale was kind of odd. It was like, it was a huge house, but it was very, very small inside. So like everything was very, it was just really claustrophobic. Like, everything was just very tight, and there's a lot of people there. And actually, that was the sale I went to Saturday. Yeah, I went to a sale Saturday. Oh, no, Friday. Sorry. Friday is what I meant to say. I went to a sale Friday. And that one was like, wasn't great. I didn't go there early because I knew it wasn't good. I had a feeling it wasn't going to be great. And I went to another one that was not good. But I was like, that one at least was not really advertised, and they didn't have any pictures. So I was like, all right, it could be good or it could be terrible. And it was pretty terrible. And I saw the guy that I knew from, what's it called? I saw him the next day too, that Saturday. But yeah. So as soon as I saw him, he was walking out with nothing, and he sells like similar shit to me. So I was like, oh, maybe I won't find anything. And I didn't really find anything. I got like a Ralph Lauren polo, whatever the fuck it's called. It was like the bath bags, like the toiletry bags. So it was one of those. And hold on, I'm just watching my kid on the monitor because she's like, she was sleeping good the last few days, but today not so much. It's fucking trying to teach a human how to sleep is the most frustrating thing. You think it would be like a lot easier, but it's just not. And then you gotta like stalk them and look for them on the monitor so they're not. Where the fuck did she go? Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, let me check on my little... Oh, she's under the bed. That's cool. So let me get my list because I'm a little sidetracked right here. Oh, we watched Home Alone 2 the other night. I know we were talking about we watched Home Alone 1. And yeah, that one was a lot more like... He's just a lot more sociopathic, I think, in the second one. The first one was pretty bad, but like it's just a lot of like blunt like he throws a brick at the dude just like 4 times in a row, and he keeps hitting him in the head. Like the dude would be dead, You know what I mean? I kept watching the movie and I was like, oh, they'd be dead there. Like they'd be dead there. They'd be dead there. I couldn't help it. I was like, it was a great movie. I was having fun watching it. And obviously, you have to kind of watch it and like see it as like it's more of like a cartoon, live action cartoon than like, you know, a kids comedy movie. And yeah, it was still pretty funny. I think I liked the first one better, but I don't know. They were both good. He's always screaming and running from old people. So, and then last week there was an ad for like it was the whole house was free. I think it was Thursday. So I was like, all right, we'll go. I think the whole family went. And I went in first. And I think it was like, because it was like a younger guy. So I have to imagine that he like took out all the good stuff because there was literally nothing. Like I think I grabbed a couple things, but there was nothing of value in that house. But when I first walked in, I found there was like a BC, like a Boston College jacket on the table, and I ended up grabbing it. I put it in my IKEA bag, and I ended up starting to walk and look around in the house, and this guy came up to me. He's like, "Hey, that was my jacket. I put it down, blah blah blah." And I'm not gonna get in a fight over it at a free thing, like whatever. Like if he wanted to try to claim it, whatever. So I was like, all right. He was there first, so I wasn't gonna get into it. So I put it, gave it to him, put it back. And I think, I don't think he was lying because everything in the house was like old lady stuff. You know what I mean? Like it just didn't fit everything else. So I just figured, I trust that it was his jacket. And he was wearing like a sweatshirt on underneath it. So he was probably hot as fuck. So yeah, I think I grabbed like a little box of stuff, like just taking a gamble. There was a ton of jewelry, but it was like none of the jewelry was remotely like worth anything. So I just threw it in my yard sale pile. And that's why I'm kind of thinking like, oh, I should maybe do a yard sale, a mid-season yard sale, just because I have so much different shit. But I don't know. I might have to buy a storage unit if I sell all this shit. Like all the piles that I have could sell pretty quickly, especially if we do a whatnot or two. So we'll see, and who knows. Anyway, yeah. So Thanksgiving week, we're not doing it at our house, so I'm pretty happy about that. But we are having like friends over on Saturday and essentially doing Thanksgiving that day. So I still have to do, my wife was like, we should do a Friendsgiving. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So I said, sure, why not? But that means I have to cook a fucking turkey. She got a free turkey, so we're like, why not, Instead of giving it to somebody who could actually use it, why don't we just fucking cook this stupid fucking thing? So, I don't know. There's still time to give it to somebody because it's still not even like thawed out. It was frozen and we put it in the fridge, so it's probably still frozen. Hopefully it's thawed by the day it needs to be thawed, but who knows? Fucking turkeys, man, they're so big. I wonder how many turkeys go to waste every year, because there's just so many fucking turkeys every year. I feel like at one point turkeys were selling out, but like now they're just like, no, we're just gonna keep pumping them out. Yeah. My daughter's been into the Thanksgiving song, the Adam Sandler one. She asked me because we were like listening to Christmas music. And she was like, no, we can't listen to Christmas music. She's like, we got to listen to Thanksgiving. So I was like, well, the only Thanksgiving song I know is the one from Adam Sandler. But apparently it's not on like Spotify or why am I fucking drawing a blank? Amazon or any of those other things. Or at least it's not on Spotify, because that's the only one we actually checked. But it's on YouTube. So we found it, and yeah, it holds up. My daughter was singing it. The only part that's like, he talks about his brother masturbating with baby oil, which when I was a kid, I don't think I ever got that line. Like, and I was older than my kid, so I don't think she'll catch on to it. But yeah, who knows? She hasn't asked for the song in a few days anyway, so maybe she's over it. Although I am going to play it on Thanksgiving. And there'll be football. There's like 3 games, I think, on Thanksgiving. That's always fun. So, yeah. All right, let me pull up my little list here. Getting sidetracked. Oh, yeah, I was online because, dude, Facebook is just... I hate having to use it. I've talked about this all the time, but I hate having to use it because it's very distracting, and it's like I only really use it for the yard sale stuff, and now obviously I sell on Marketplace. But like there's always something trying to pull your attention away. And so I saw, like, I keep getting, like, these weird, like, for a while I stopped seeing AI shit, and, like, now I just keep seeing it everywhere. But there's, like, a creepy ad for AI that shows you what your children will look like in, like, every stage of their life. I was like, oh, I don't want to see this. It was very weird. Like, it wasn't my kid, obviously. It was just, like, they showed, like, some random, like, AI-generated baby. Just like watched them like go through the whole stage of their life. I was like, yeah, I don't think you want to know what you know what I mean? Like, you should be present in the moment if you're a parent, not like using AI to tell you what your child's gonna look like in fucking 10 years. Like, what? It'd be crazy if AI is like, oh, your kid will be dead. Like, you go to put it in, like, scans your kid. It's like, oh, your kid has like 2 years. Like, fuck. You know what I mean? You don't want to know that shit. AI is fucking creepy. That's like some Black Mirror shit. Very fucking creepy. So, but yeah, I love AI. It's very friendly and very merciful. And I don't have anything bad to say about AI. Just in case AI is listening. So yeah. I'm so glad I cleaned up my death pile. It was just getting overwhelming. And now it's like I feel like I can see the end of like all the stuff that I have. And here's the thing, I'm like, oh, I need inventory, but I have a ton of comic books, and like I have shit that I could just start selling. So I should just start selling that stuff. You know what I mean? Instead of like, you know, trying to buy a bunch more stuff, I should just start selling some of that stuff off. So I think that's going to happen. I have a giant pile of bubble wrap. This is like not related to what I was just talking about at all. But I have a giant pile of bubble wrap that I got. It was like a deal through Ocean State Job Lot, which is like this shitty little store that sells like, it's a huge chain, but they sell like shit really cheap. You know, any store with the word lot in it is like, you know it's going to be pretty shitty and cheap. And what the fuck was I just talking about? I just got so distracted. Ocean State Job Lot. I don't even fucking remember what I was talking about. Oh my goodness. Oh, did I have it written down? I don't know. I don't even remember. I just completely lost my train of thought. I like looked at something and just completely like fucking forgot what I was talking about. It happens. What are you gonna do? Uh, but no, I just was thinking about that dude too. The like anytime I meet somebody at a Facebook Marketplace deal, they're always like they're always way different than how they are in online. You know what I mean? This guy was pretty much standard what you would think, you know. But like there's times there's people that are like chatty Cathy on the internet, and then you meet them and you're like trying to be kind of friendly with them and they're just like eh. So it's just kind of it's weird, like, and I'm kind of the same way though. I'm like interacting with people online. I'm the opposite of like what people are usually. You know what I mean? Like online I'm very awkward. Like I find interacting with people online to be like very very weird and uncomfortable. But I'm more comfortable like meeting and interacting with people in person and in real life, you know what I mean? As opposed to online. But yeah, it's crazy how it like yeah, I don't know. I've always been like that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because you can't see the person. I'm like, oh, this could be anybody. You know what I mean? I don't trust who. I just already don't instinctually don't trust. You know, it's like I'm like I don't trust that. Well, not like I'm gonna get catfished. You know what I mean? I'm not like on there like, hey, trying to. But like, even back in the day, like talking to people, you never knew who you were talking to. I was fine with it when it was like AIM, instant messenger, because it was like you were talking to people you knew, you know. It was very rare that you're going to get catfished on it. Well, actually, AIM, you could meet people from anywhere, I guess. But they should bring that shit back. I don't know why they don't bring that back. I mean, I guess like social media is kind of like that, but like AIM was like you were talking direct. Like I get, you know, you're still kind of getting that with social media, but it's not to the level of what it is like that what it was like on AIM. You know what I mean? It was more you would actually meet people. You'd be like ASL, which was like age, sex, location. You just hit somebody up. And if it was a dude, you'd be like goodbye. You just try to find like girls and shit. You'd be like, oh hey, and that's like we used to do that all the time. Just hit up random people and talk to them on AOL Instant Messenger. But people were more nice on that. You know what I mean? It was very rare. Like I think we would try to fuck with people occasionally, but like we would make like fake screen names and shit. Like that was like the original like screen name was like, what was your screen name? It was like, I think that was it. I don't know. I might be making that shit up. Because you don't say screen name now. A lot of times you're like, oh, this is my username. But like every once in a while, you'll catch me default to, hey, this is my screen name. But yeah, Instant Messenger was like, that was the thing back in like 7th and 8th grade. And then you would get like a girl who you liked or had a crush on, and you would tell her all the things you couldn't tell her in person. And then you'd just be super awkward at school. Like I told this girl one time, I was like, oh yeah, like because I said something like I was being like, she's asked me why I was being like weird or something like that. I was like, oh, I have a crush on you, blah blah blah. And then like I don't think it was reciprocated because we didn't like go out or anything like that. Or maybe she had a boyfriend. I don't remember. But yeah, then she was always like super nice to me after that. But I think she went to a different high school and like, you know, we never. I think I like reached out to her like later on but like I just went down a whole rabbit hole talking about AOL Instant Messenger. Like a whole life, like that was like a whole lifetime ago. And I just like opened up that memory just by talking about AOL Instant Messenger. That was very weird. So, yeah. Man, Black Friday isn't what it used to be, though. I am like, I might go out and look because it's my birthday. You know what I mean? So I can kind of. My wife's off, so she kind of will be like, "What do you want to do?" So I do kind of want to do a podcast. Like I want to kind of do a few things. Like I want to try to do a birthday podcast, but like with a guest. I don't know, one of my friends. And then I kind of want to go to a card store because I think you could trade at card stores. Like I think they'll trade stuff. So I have some sealed product. Like I kind of want to just bring like $400 worth of sealed product and buy like an expensive ass fucking box and just risk it all. So I don't know, maybe a $200 like or $250 like I'll see. I gotta find a place that like accepts trades because I really don't want to spend that much money on a box. But hold on, I'm trying to find my child on the monitor, playing Big Brother right now. I don't know where she's at. Where are you at, little girl? Is she in her bed? I can't tell. I gotta check the other. Oh, yeah, but she finally fell asleep. What time is it? All right, nice. Sorry, I have to like keep track of all of the times that she goes to sleep, so she's gonna get like an hour nap. Yeah, so I think I talked about popping my tire like a while back. So I popped a tire going to a fucking book sale. It was a waste of time too. The book sale sucked. And it's been like book sales have been shitty lately. It's not been great. But I popped a tire and then my wife popped a tire. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then because I had called on the first tire to ask if like there's any type of like warranty on the tires or anything like that. And they're like, oh, you opted out for the tire thing. I was like, fuck. And so then now I just popped another fucking tire. So that's 3 fucking tires. I've never had this many issues with popping tires on a car in my life. Ever. Well, except for like back when I was a teenager and I would drive drunk and I had a Scion TC, which was also a Toyota. So I don't know if it's like the Toyota's tires fucking suck. But I was also driving drunk like most of the time then. So I can't really blame that on. But I had a friend who was a mechanic and he used to fix. So we'd get hammered together and then I'd like fucking drive drunk like an idiot. Pop my tire at the end of his driveway, drive back, stay at his house. He'd wake up in the morning. He'd fucking order me a tire. It would come by like 9 o'clock. He'd have a couple drinks, put my tire back on. And like I stayed over his house like for fucking like a couple weeks like that. It wasn't good. I was like not in a great place. I just needed a place to drink like constantly. It wasn't good. So yeah. I'm glad that eBay's picked up, but like, yeah, I was excited to list on Facebook. Obviously, I talked about that at one point, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I was spending so much time working on eBay, and I was like, oh yeah, like I forgot I was like looking forward to listing on multiple platforms because I was hoping to make some more money, and you know, it would be nice, and yeah, and then I just had to fucking do it. I just completely forgot. I'm like, oh shit. So I'll probably do a little bit of Facebook today, a little bit of eBay after this. Hopefully I have a little bit of time. I do have to, I'm making crock pot tacos. They're so good, but I got to make them like right this morning. Not right this morning, like right now-ish. Like after I wrap this up. That's my next thing. I got to go do that. So I was like, oh fuck. I'm hoping I'll have a little bit of time to list right before I go. But this podcast might be short. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. If I can do another 25 minutes, then I'll do it. But So I'm making some crock pot tacos. Those fucking things are bomb. Oh yeah, so I wanted to talk about this for a while. I keep forgetting. So there's two post offices near my house that I go to for my shipping. One is in like the richer area, like the next town over, and like they're always awesome. They fucking give me shit. I give them like gift cards and shit for like Christmas and like the holidays and shit. Like I'm very cool with them. The other post office is like very uncomfortable. Like it's a very uncomfortable post office. There's like this one dude, he's probably my age, and he's just the most unstable fucking guy I've ever fucking met. And not ever, but he's really fucking unstable. So he'll like I come up and it's like some days he talks to me about like he's into comic books and shit. So he'll talk to me about that, like, and I've told him like, oh, I sell video games and blah 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 blah, this, that, and the other. Because at first, like, I was like, oh, he's cool, and then like I would come in a different time, like oh hey, and he would be like, I don't know if he's like bipolar or some shit, but he would be like, all fucking like shitty and like, So like I came in like this last week, and he was like, what the fuck did he do? He was like, it's like, oh, take some deep breaths when you leave. It's been a rough morning. He's like, I came in this morning and the place, it looks like a bomb went off from last night. And he's like, just like complaining about his work. And then he's like, yeah. And then somebody smashed, and to make matters worse, somebody smashed my Lego R2D2 that I had up here. And I was like trying to not laugh in his faces. Because I would be pissed too if somebody did that to me. But I was just like, I can't. Like the fact that you're just saying this out loud, like, oh, this is the worst. Somebody smashed my R2D2. So then I go, and I'm like genuinely intrigued to be like, was this a customer, or like, is he being bullied by a customer, or is he being bullied by his coworkers? Like, who? So I'm like, oh, is it like another employee, or like a customer? And he goes, yeah, good question. And he just doesn't even answer my question. He goes, yeah, good question. And he goes, speaking of employment, I probably have to find new employment sometime soon. And I'm just like, dude, should I not come in here anymore? Like, is this guy gonna fucking shoot everybody? Like, he was fucking dude, this guy, every fucking time I go into it's like, so like it's quicker when I go drop my kid off to school because I go right by the post office. So it's tempting because I'm like, oh, I have one package, and I'm like, but I don't fucking want to go in there. Half the time it's crazy busy, and like you're like, having to wait, or there's like a fucking homeless guy up there doing some fucking shit because it's on like Main Street. So he's holding up the fucking line, and then like the other half of the time it's just like, someone stable, like, and then the other lady that's there's like this other lady that's there, and she's like, fucking, she's given me not giving me shit before, but like I had like 4 or 5 packages, which isn't a ton of packages, but she was just like, oh, how many do you have? Like, because she had to scan them, which it drives me fucking nuts. Like when the post office people get annoyed by the amount of packages. Like, that's why I like my place now. Like, they aren't really annoyed with my packages. Because I'm not, like, even though I have a lot, I'm not, like, fucking going there and taking up a ton of their time. I'm, like, in and out faster than half the time it takes for, like, most of the other people. Like, half the time people just sit there and bullshit with them while there's a line. And they have to, like, finally be like, okay, like, I got to take these other people. Like, the people just, but they're quick over there, and they never fucking complain. I never have to hear about any of their weird drama. Like, I'm not worried that, like, I thought about that too. I was like, oh man, I should tell him that, like I didn't even want to tell him. It just like, it just comes up as like, sometimes I just blurt shit out, but luckily I didn't do it this time. And I was just like, wanted to be like, yeah, you should check that other place out if I, well, you know, blah, 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 blah. But I was like, I don't want this unstable motherfucker to now be at the place I like, you know what I mean? And then they're mad at me because I was like, hey, you should fucking go check them out. They're all chill, blah, blah, you know? So I just was like, I'm just going to leave it alone. Hopefully this guy quits and I never have to see him again. But I don't think that's the case. So I brought a bunch of packages today, and then when I got home, my eBay blew up again. I got like 4 or 5 packages again. So I was like, all right, maybe I should just go drop these off on the way back from school. But I'm like, I think we're gonna drive to the other one. Like, I don't feel like fucking dealing with that guy. It's just fucking weird. It's a very, very uncomfortable post office, and it's literally every fucking time I go in there. It's like, I go in. I was going in very randomly. But now, obviously it's on the way more, so I'm like, I might as well stop by. But I'm like, I can't fucking do it anymore. I cannot. Yeah. I really can't. The other thing that is weird is like the anonymous Facebook posts of people. I know I'm back on Facebook, but because when I'm on, I'll be on there like looking at shit, and then you see like an anonymous Facebook post, and it's somebody complaining about like another person that they interacted with during the day, or like a business, or it's just very bizarre. It's bizarre even if you don't do it as somebody who's anonymous, to go on and be like, hey, to the person that gave me the middle finger, in traffic earlier. It's like, since when did we start doing that? Like, that interaction was specific to you guys in traffic, and you're gonna go and like try to like not bolster. What's the word I'm looking for? You're trying to bolster some support for like for you doing, you know what I mean, getting like bullied, or not bullied, but like road raged. And yeah, it's a very bizarre trend that I couldn't, or like they're upset about their food. Like, that would be like the time that was talked about a couple weeks ago when we went to the restaurant, and the chick never took our order. Like, I never followed up with that. I never called the manager. I never wrote a thing online. It was just like a thing that happened. Sometimes I've written reviews. There's been times when I've written reviews. There was one time when we went to a place, and like we just wanted to have a drink, and we were gonna go get food somewhere else. So we were like, oh, we'll just get a drink here real quick, sit by the water, and then we'll get up and be gone. So we were going, and this lady was like, we went to one bar, and they told us like, oh, you have to get food or something like that. So like, all right, we'll go to the next. We get to this bar, and the hostess is like, do you guys want to come in? And we're like, well, we just want drinks. Is that fine? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. So we go and we sit down, and the friggin' waiter comes out, and he asks us what we want. We just sort of like, oh yeah, we're probably just going to do drinks. And he goes, oh yeah, we don't do just drinks, or something like that. And it was like, well, we asked the lady, and she said that it was fine. And he like was refusing to serve us. He's like, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking. And I was like, all right. So that time I wrote a review, because I was like, fuck this guy. Like, he straight up refused to serve us. And he would have gotten tipped well. Like, he would have made quick money. We would have been out before anybody else was even there. But he was just like trying to be a big tough guy for no fucking reason. So in a situation like that, yeah, I'm going to fucking go online and complain. But like, yeah, the amount of people I see, it's like increased since they've added like the anonymous feature, which is just like so stupid. So, all right, I think I'm going to do 45 minutes, because I do have to do a few things before my kid gets up. I got to cook some food and get that stuff going. Just trying to power through these like yard sale list podcast episodes. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I squeezed enough into this 45 minutes to make it worth it. So, all right, make sure you like, subscribe. I should say this at the beginning, but, follow, tell your friends. And I'll be back either next week or who knows. But I'll be back soon. Before Christmas, for sure. Definitely for sure. For sure.